Armstrong. Entertainment. Melancholia.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Armstrong Entertainment. I saw the movie Melancholia. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not really sure. I thought it was maybe Melancholy, but I think it's Melancholia. I'm not really sure. So this movie stars Kirsten Dunst, Charlotte Gainsbourg, Alexandar Skarsgard, and Kiefer Sutherland. So it's a Lars Von Trier movie, and he's really known for totally abstract and artsy movies. He did Mandalay, Antichrist, Dogville with Nicole Kidman. All of these movies are super long and slow and boring and like really far out there and artsy. This guy is like a real weirdo, and he got into a bunch of trouble. I forget what he said, something about Nazi stuff, I think. So let me start off by saying, I will give you a warning. This is one of those movies that you need to be warned that it's very long and you just need to be able to sit through it and prepare yourself. Basically, know what you're getting into before you go see it. Just don't go see it on a whim because you heard Kirsten Dunst is good in it. This movie starts off really cool. They do something, it's like slow motion for the first like 10 minutes, but it's not even slow motion, it's like slow motion. So you'll see as soon as it starts, you're like, whoa, this is really like epic and intense. The musical score is amazing in this. It's all like classical music. It builds up, and it's so heavy, and like it really gets you. The plot of this movie, it's two different parts. Part 1, which is an hour long, and part 2, which is like an hour and 20 minutes long. Part 1 is basically a wedding reception, and you literally feel like you sit through the entire wedding reception. It's Kirsten Dunst and Alexandar Skarsgard's wedding, and she plays this like really depressed bride. You don't understand why, like, I still don't understand why exactly. There's so many questions I still have about this movie, and it's definitely one of those movies you have to go to and see again to answer a lot of your questions. So Kirsten Dunst is really depressed, and then she'll fake being happy, and she's getting married, and you're like, why are you getting married to somebody if you don't really love them? What's going on? There's so much going on, and it's just so hard to like take everything in and realize what's happening. So that's the first part, basically a big wedding reception. Second part takes place, and it's Charlotte Gainsbourg, it's her sister, Kirsten Dunst's sister, and it's basically her movie, the second half, and it's about her worrying about this impending planet. It's called Melancholia, and it's supposed to pass by Earth like really close, and there's just like, she's all worried about it. The second part is by far better. It's more intense. I was really into the second part. The first part I was not. I would definitely have cut down about 30 minutes out of the first hour and then left the rest. There's just so many shots and scenes in here that are so artsy and far out there, and you really have to be like, I guess you would say, an experienced moviegoer to appreciate it, or not everybody is gonna love this movie. There's some major problems I had with this movie. The number one main problem I had from the get-go was I sat really close and I didn't realize it was going to be shot on like a home video camera, so it's like shaking all around, and I don't know, I didn't go to see Cloverfield or something. I wanted to see like a movie, and it was really close and shaky, and that was really annoying, so sit far back. The movie was a little confusing at times. I literally could not get the timeline down. I didn't know if part 1 was before part 2 or part 2 was before part 1. I was a little confused, but then I figured it out by the end. But still, it was a little confusing, and it wasn't supposed to be confusing. Maybe I'm just stupid. Kiefer Sutherland's character, he was a cool character, everything was great, until all of a sudden he does one thing that totally ruins his character for me. And it didn't make sense, like why his character would do this, so that really upset me, and that really kind of ruined a big part of the movie for me. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. Interesting things about this movie, where this movie is so artsy and far out there. I felt like I was watching like a moving painting. It was really beautifully shot. It's definitely going to get nominated for some cinematography, maybe not cinematography, like art direction or something, because it has some really cool scenes and shots in it. It's a movie that really sticks with you, and I'm still thinking about it today. I saw it yesterday, and I have not stopped thinking about it. I'm trying to understand the metaphors and what they meant and how it all tied together. So it's definitely a movie you kind of have to see twice because it's so out there. You really have to be paying attention. The other big thing about this movie is they say Kirsten Dunst is going to be nominated. If I hadn't been hearing that over and over again, I would have never thought in a million years that, wow, this is an Oscar performance. She's going to win an Oscar for this, because she does a great job, but she does a really good job. And she's like naked a lot of the time. She has very perky boobs. I think she had a boob job. I'd be really surprised if Kirsten Dunst got nominated for an Oscar. Probably a Golden Globe, I can see that, but an Oscar, not so much. I think it's a really interesting movie, definitely worth checking out. One of his better movies out of all the ones I mentioned earlier. And it really made me want to eat meatloaf. You'll know what I mean when you see the movie. Melancholia, or Melancholy, I don't know how to say the name of the movie. Go see it.
I really apologize for using the word movie 25 times.